ustreamradio.com.
I would say, it's similar to that, but it's definitely be willing to work 1,000%. I feel like 20 some odd years of doing what I do, I'm still up at 5 a.m. I'm still staying up all night. I still feel like I'm pushing the envelope. And if you're up for doing this, you have to be willing to work. You have to be willing to take the sacrifices that come along with any form of success. And if you're not willing to do that, you might as well just throw it away at the gate. So you have to really be willing to push yourself 1,000%, have something that's great, and be always trying to get better at the same time.
I just want to thank Reggie and the V103 team for having us here today. I just want to end by saying I went to Clark Atlanta University. And part of our motto was find a way or make one. And I think that really stuck with me. And perseverance, that stuck with me. Persevere, persevere, persevere. Never give up, never quit. And support those who support you. And if you love it, do it regardless of what anybody says.
To mirror the sentiment of perseverance, the one thing, and I'm going to speak basically to the panel that's up here, everybody up here has been through something. And their passion has kept them through it, got them through it. And then this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So, you have two artists that both had prior record deals before they really took control of what they wanted to do with their careers and created their brands, and now even more control of what they're doing with their futures. But that may not be everybody's story. There are people who have signed their labels and sold 10, 20 million records. So there is no one way, but the thing about it is I used to come to these panels all the time, the How Can I Be Down, the Jack the Rappers, and everything else that we used to go to. And then I realized that the answer to most of my questions was actually sitting next to me in the audience. It's the network. So your classmates, you know what I'm saying? It's like the people in the audience are the next online person, the next PR person, the next blogger, the next producer, and then you network up. You come here for us to give you motivation as an inspiration to show you where you can go, but you're supposed to take it further. So you gotta learn, you gotta listen, you gotta pay attention. You can't be arrogant, don't think you know more than us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to a lot of young artists and producers who think just because you got the hot right now that everybody's supposed to listen to you. You have to have some deference, and you have to be a part of the system. You're standing on the shoulders. A lot of people, I know Akon, I know Salam, they laid down groundwork. I'm not from Atlanta, so everything that Tip and 2 Chainz, they were born and raised here, so they've been doing this since they was young boys. So they laid the groundwork. Even if I am older, they created the atmosphere for me to come down here and be successful. So y'all have to understand that. So please let go of some of the ego. Be passionate and be confident, but let go of some of the ego, and I think you can all work together.
2 Chainz? Definitely want to tell V103 I appreciate the opportunity. Everybody that came, y'all could be doing a whole bunch of stuff today. So y'all here with us. I appreciate that. I'm still someone that enjoys learning. I definitely don't know everything. Just to follow up what Shaka was saying, I try to learn something new every day. Involved in music, not involved in music. It's just about growing. It's just about prosperity. In my case, it's definitely about not giving up. It's a thin line between confidence and cockiness. And for a long time, I didn't know how to walk that line. Like before I even got to the level that I'm at now, I felt like I was almost better than everybody, which probably hampered my success for a lot, because I'm one of the people like Shaka, but he was saying I didn't want to listen to nothing. I just used to get mad at the TV and the videos about it not being me. But as soon as I started, seeing light of success, I started to humble myself. I'm definitely someone that has a fear of God. I just prayed even more.
Turn it up to Jesus.
And I work hard, and then just, for the most part, I remember a lot of people, DJs, tastemakers, PDs, whoever, that just really, maybe if they didn't take me serious, maybe I felt like I was We're not allowed. Are we allowed to cuss or what?
We not on here.
Yeah, you just feel like you've been shitted on before, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure everybody in here has felt that way before, you know what I'm saying? But the biggest thing is to know that when that opportunity comes back around for the person that shitted on you, for me, I did the exact opposite. I didn't shit on them. And so, you can take that formula how you want to take it. This is just my personal evolution of who 2 Chainz is. You just know, like, coming from the trenches, coming from the mud, being from Atlanta, you just gotta have that spirit of never being a quitter, never, they're gonna kick you while you're down, but for me, it's just about, like I said, prosperity. I really believe in that. I really believe, man, growing, I believe in being better than you was the last time. And so, take it for what it's worth, try to grow when you can grow, and try to learn what you can, and you'll probably be better out of the situation. Sure.
I think for me, it's about continuing to diversify yourself as an artist, as an executive, as a businessman, or woman, as a manager, whatever it is that you do. It's about your evolution, what it takes for you to go from where you are to where you aspire to be, and only you can dictate these moves and see to it that the proper execution takes place so that your dreams can manifest. Nobody up here on this panel, we only can tell you how it happened for us and how the books say it's supposed to happen. However, just as it has been alluded to earlier about how the South is known for independence and independent record labels, and there's a reason for that. That is because New York people didn't really want to hear us. You know what I'm saying? They had monopolized the industry, and for so long, in order for us to be heard, in order for us to be represented, then members of our community had to have the foresight and the perseverance to go out here, and the belief in themselves, and to go out here and say, even though those people who are supposed to be the gatekeepers say, I'm not good enough, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna support the people, represent the people that I know are not being represented right now. And that's when you get the No Limits and the Suaves and the Rap-A-Lots and the Cash Moneys even. And you know what I'm saying? There's so many others that, and I mean, Grand Hustle started like that because then nobody, no disrespect to LA, I love them to death. And I am from the LaFace University. However, they had Outkast, Tony Braxton, and TLC. They weren't studying T.I. at the time. Okay, cool. So we had to sit out here. We got started on Bankhead, Central Road, Born Home, Zone 3, Southside, East Side. Like, I had to go out here and get out here and politic with the people who were supporting me, and we had to grow from there. And so then when your numbers begin to grow and support your belief in yourself, then you sit on the opposite end of that spectrum where now you're being sought after. And when artists come to me and they ask me, hey, look, man, I want you to hear my CD, and I want you to, I want you to hear me rap like my guy up here did. And I always tell them no, because for one, it's gonna take so much more than that. It's gonna take so much more than that. In this business, man, to be honest with you, it's our job to find you. It ain't your job to find us. You know what I'm saying? Once you making noise in a certain area enough to where people are hearing about you, Bob came up, B.O.B. came up to Crucial and dominated the Hustle and Flow open mic contest to the point where my partners would call me, hey man, I don't know what you're doing right now, bro, but you need to get down here and see this man because he killing shit. And so when I finally saw him and I observed him with my own 12, I was like, oh, this shit is real. And I think that is the true spirit of what this business is about. It's about you getting out there and not getting out there and finding somebody who can change your life. Being introduced to somebody who can take you out of your hood into Hollywood. But man, creating opportunities by letting your talent speak for you. And when you go on out the room, making sure that people remember you enough to where they will speak on your behalf when you ain't around. And eventually, it'll all come full circle. Thank you very much. Hustle Gang over here, thank you. Appreciate it. My brother Jason Jeter probably got a much more political way to say what I just said.
I mean, I think in general nowadays one of the challenges just with the younger generation that's coming up on the internet so heavily that a lot of people kind of like see the end results, you know, and they see where, you know, 2 Chainz ends up or T.I. ends up on television, and they don't really know the road to that destination, you know? So to me, I think that's one of the most frustrating things, like being from my era and seeing, you know, the new generation is coming up, like they just feel like automatically they're entitled to certain things, you know, which is totally not the case. You know, you gotta work, you gotta educate yourself, and you gotta prepare yourself for the opportunity at the time that the opportunity comes, you know? And everybody's always, record deal, record deal, record deal. All right, cool, you get a record deal, but now it's like the work really begins. You know, once you get a record deal and now you want a label, you want Def Jam or whatever the company is, and they got their franchise artists, now you gotta get in there and you really have to excel, and you really gotta shine and stick your head out so that whoever the executive is that's at the top can see your potential and pay you some attention, you know? A lot of times we've signed artists before that were doing more before we signed them, and then we signed them and they just kind of like fell back and felt like they made it, you know? So that's another thing that happens a lot, you know? So, you know, just in general, man, you gotta be focused, you gotta stay humble, and you gotta stay at it. You know, it's kind of like just keep your head down and work, and like Tip said, people will come and find you when the time is right.
Also, you gotta build your team. You gotta put team in place and delegate responsibilities, because everybody out there ain't able to go in offices and speak for themselves. And I say this because I've sat down with artists that I thought that they were a lot smarter than they were when I spoke to them. So don't be afraid to delegate responsibilities and actually, yes, I spoke to them, and delegate responsibilities and say, because that's what Jay and I had to do. Like, you know, I had the music shit down. Even though I could speak, I just knew I wasn't ready to go in there and sit down with somebody. And so I knew Jason, you know.
Ustreamradio.com